Welcome to our weekly featured program, Fire Talk. In the studio with me, I have two officers from the fire department, faces you should know. And if you're new to the show, I'll introduce you to them regardless. We have Mr. Blois and Mr. Clark in the studio with me this morning. I'll let them introduce themselves shortly. We're going to be looking at the up-and-coming summer program, which will be launching real soon. This initiative is something the fire department has put on over the past couple of years here in St. Kitts and Nevis. But before we get into our dedicated program this morning, I received a call this morning with a couple of questions I want to get over to you guys before we start the show. But let you introduce yourself first, and then I'll ask the question and we get into our topic for today. Mr. Blois?
Hey, good morning, listening audience, and for all who are hearing my sound of my voice. I am Ryan Blois, Fire Sub-Officer, the Head of Statistics Department within the Fire Department.
Yes, good morning again. My name is Davon Clark, Fire Station Officer.
Welcome to our studio, and should I say welcome to our new studio. Not the first time you guys getting a chance to be here this morning. I can tell from your look and your expressions, you approve. That's great. That's great.
Wonderful.
All right, so here are the two questions I have for you before we get into our discussion. Question number one: what is the danger of leaving water in a vehicle?
Okay, so I'll take that one. Now, leaving water in the vehicle, that would be more of a medical question. So before fire department jump on that to give an answer we will not be properly exposed to, I'll prefer that question be posed to the medical fraternity.
Okay, fair enough. Second question for you has to do with leaving your charger still plugged in but on your bed.
Now, as it relates to that second question, well, first let me thank you for both questions, as they are very interesting questions. Now, the second question, leaving your charger plugged in, and you said it was on the bed?
Mm-hmm.
Now, everything in life have an ignition temperature, as we should know. And fire have three components, which are fuel, heat, and oxygen. Once they are to the right proportion, they would ignite or cause a fire. Now, as our electricity company would continuously advocate, leaving anything plugged in is continuously as being energized still. So therefore, it has the possibility of igniting something because it's being energized, so it therefore means that an ignition temperature can be reached for whatever combustible material it is close to. So that, yes, it may cause a fire. However, that would need more in-depth analysis, but in my opinion that it can cause a fire. However, like I said, we need more in-depth analysis to give you a more proper answer for that.
Got you. Thank you for answering those questions.
No problem.
Gentlemen, let's get into our topic for today, and it's all surrounding, or should I say all about your up-and-coming summer program. Who wants to start the conversation this morning? Mr. Clark, you?
Yes, morning again, JQ.
Can you pull the mic closer to you?
Closer.
Just lean it forward and then push up the mic.
Ah,
Yeah,
fancy thing. Fancy thing in the studio.
There you go.
Nice. Yes, good morning again. I am Davon Clark, as I mentioned earlier, coordinator for this year's Summer Safety Program. This year the theme will be Big or Small, Fire Safety for All. The camp The camp will be from Monday, July 14th to Friday, the 18th of July 2025. It will be held at the Dr. William Connor Primary School, and the age from 5 to 11. Registration fee is $20. Then the subjects will be fire safety, water safety, crime and violence, natural disaster by NEMA, and basic first aid by Mrs. Natalie Fufo. We are in the preparation stage, and that's where we have Mr. Blois is here. We wish to move the registration process a bit digital using a QR code rather than the sending out of the papers. but similar will be having some issues. So going forward, we should have to work with both of them until we get the right thing. So that's why I invited Mr. Blois here, who have more knowledge as it relates on the technical aspect. So Mr. Blois will get more in depth to let the parents and the family members know the best way possible to register and the ifs and the won'ts, any question that need to be asked, he will be able to answer them. So I'm handing it over to Mr. Blois for his presentation.
Okay.
All right, good morning. Just like Mr. Clark alluded just moments ago, I am basically here to speak about the new initiative that Fire Department has launched. Over the years, we have had summer safety camp, successful in many attempts. As we recognize, we have had some reductions in fires. However, the initiative that we sought to launch this year was a digitalization registration process itself. Now, there are many reasons as to why we chose that way. But however, I'm going to give you 8 of the reasons, but I want to speak more about 2 of them. Now, efficiency and speed, accuracy, storage and space, accessibility, security, sustainability, scalability, and auditing and reporting. Those are the 8 reasons that we all came down to as the reason as to why we are going to digitalize this process. But for the sake of this show, I want to speak more about scalability and sustainability. Now, the government trusts for mandating or developing an e-service government. Now, as we develop being a part of the government, we have to align ourselves with government policies as a government agency. Now, sustainability is one of the things that they are pushing. So as such, we are being sustainable in digitalizing our registration process. Now, before we had persons, we used to print papers, send them out to school, have interested persons signed up, pay at the school, and then those funds be collected by fire officers. Now, here's several reasons as to why, and this is one of my main points. Now, the driver have to leave whether once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, go to different schools to find out if there are papers and funds to collect. Now, what are we using? We are using our utility vehicle to go around. What are we also using? We are using the papers to be printed. Now, in a digital era, what are we eliminating? The driver going to the schools. We are also minimizing the paper use because everything will be stored in a cloud base now. Now, we talk about storage. If we have to store all of these registration process for auditing purposes or reporting purposes, the task of actually generating which school do we need to target more, which school are we getting less from, so we can actually advocate for them to come more, because we recognize that we have an increase in fire in this particular area, and the primary schools in this area are the key areas that we want to focus on. Now, to sort those papers is going to be a challenge. In a digital process, all we have to do is filter by different fields, filter by the schools in this particular area, and we would know whether we have an increase or decrease. Do we need to continuously speak to the school more to get them to come to the camps? Let's talk about overseas, because our first registered person for the summer camp is an individual from overseas at the age of 67 and from Nevis. She was the first person that registered online through the digital process itself. Now, there was one hiccup. She created an email right away because he needed an email address for you to get the second step instructions. So when contacted the lady, she's like, well, he asked what email address, but I didn't have none, so I just type in one. But the system bounced back because it was not an active email address. But at the age of 67, she was our first registered person. And I commend her highly for not only registering, but to accept the digital process itself. We are still having some challenges, so therefore we are in a lack of better word, we are hybrid right now. The digital process is still there, however, because persons are a bit ignorant to the new process, and the word ignorant may be a bit hard, but it's for lack of knowledge. So those persons who have been ignorant to the digital process, they are still the paper-based registration process. Now, it gives us a little bit more analysis of what we are doing. We could have persons there who are vegetarian, but because we did not know that, because the paper-based form may have not collected it, or may collect it, we might have missed it. But everything is there that we can just filter. Whatever information we do, we filter it. We have persons coming from overseas around this summer. I would want, let me say carefully, a babysitter for the summer period. The camps are babysitting. So therefore, how much persons from overseas did we had last year? Now we have to go and search through all those papers to find it. Now in a digital process, all we have to do is filter and we get that information. So sustainability is one of our key thing. Scalable. Now as the years increase, to sort all those documents, the workload would increase.
Right.
You may need additional resources, which is human resource, to sort all those papers. Well, in a digital era, you won't need all those persons.
Right.
So therefore, you just simply select the fields and you're good to go.
Straightforward.
All right. But like I said, the infrastructure. Let me talk about infrastructure itself. Storing of summer safety files, we would need cabinets. And if we're doing digital, guess what we won't need? Cabinets.
Right.
Because everything is in the cloud. Now, if that information need to be accessed by any administrative officer to make administrative decision and they are not in office at that time, they would have to contact administrative assistant to sort those files to get that information for them. Now, in the digital world, they log on to the cloud, filter the information that they need, and they present right away. So it's a win-win for all of us. So I'm just appealing to the parents and to the public to welcome new initiative as we transform from paper to digital. We are just aligning ourselves and making our organization more sustainable and scalable, that we can measure our work. Because yes, there are officers putting in the work, but how are we measuring their work? Do we need more water safety? Do we need more traffic safety? Do we need more Red Cross safety? All of these we get from feedback, and we are going to be digitalizing our feedback process as well. So this is where we scale our work, whether we need to increase, decrease. Financial literacy, that's something we tried last year. Now, we need to understand, do we need to continue? Do we need to remove it? Look, Mr. Clark rightfully said, I think he did not make mention of the financial literacy, right?
Waiting for a call from National Bank.
So therefore, we would need to know, how are we going?
Sure.
All right? So these are all processes that we are looking to take. Now, a lot of people would talk, especially my wife. My wife and I would always debate about paper opposed to digital. She would always be the paper person, and she's supported by her brother. So it's 2 against 1 every time this digital conversation comes about. Now, that's a battle that I've been continuously winning, I must say, outright. Cloud integration, and this is something that we legally, paper documents should not be stored more than, how much years? 10 years? 10 years. Now, if I want to know how much persons attended the camp over the past 15 years, I can only give you 10, because legally I am allowed to hold those documents for 10 years. Now, in a cloud-based documents, guess what I can do? I can hold those documents for 15, 20, 25 years. So therefore, I can always show you our progress over our existing progress. All right? So if Mr. Clark has anything input to add to it, I welcome his input. As I take a pause, I wait for callers,
Okay.
and Mr. Clark would be talking more about the summer safety program.
Okay, very good intervention, Mr. Blois. So yes, as I say, the schools similarly have been saying that they're not getting on, or they're not trying don't really want to say the wrong word, but as I said, we'll have to go out when having these parents teachers meetings, and exactly what Mr. Bloy said, get them on board and also get the parents on board. Person are saying that what if they don't have a smartphone, what if they don't have data at the time, a number of questions. So all of these will have to be ironed out, because going forward we cannot be sticking with the paper. We must go digital. We must keep up with the demands of the world. Okay. So a few minutes to just talk about. Let me just say this: next week, hopefully, God's willing, we'll ask the divisional fire officer from Nevis. We'll be having a program in Nevis as well, 1 week before ours. So we'll have her on every year. So you remember Mavis right? So she will be on next week to give us the inputs on the Nevis end. But for St. Kitts, the coordinator is myself, Davron Clark.
Right.
Assistant coordinator and in charge of classrooms, Tito Wasman. We have Dominic Stevens, secretary. Loretta Hodge, in charge of food and beverages. Shana White, transportation. David Kane, ceremonies. Merton Charles, treasurer, the man with the money. Leroy Martin, logistics. Pablo Gomes. Our subcommittee will be Ovani Roberts, Petrula Smitten, DeAndre Vanderpool, Kyle Burke, Shaniqua Davis, Tavanna Brown, Simba Hanley, and Vaughn Ward. These will be the officers, plus more, who will be in the front line ensuring that we have a successful camp again for 2025 and going forward. Mr. Tito Wasman, I'll be handing over to him next year after extensive stint in the role of coordinator. I'll be grooming him. Right now I'm grooming him, so by next year he'll be able to carry on the mantle while I stay by his side and ensure that it's a smooth program. So yes, we're asking the parents to call the schools, get in contact with the schools, get in contact with us. We need we are hoping to get around 300 participants this year. We're not turning back anyone. It will be at the Dr. William Cannon Primary School. So if you cannot sign up, just bring a child at the Dr. William Cannon Primary School between the 14th and the 18th of July 2025. Get your child signed up. We have a lot of fun-filled activities. This year we'll be partnering with social development. So very soon we'll have those in as well to let us know exactly how much fun and excitement they're going to bring to the camp, so we can make it even bigger and better, getting the children's minds off of crime and violence, focusing on safety in the homes, water safety, what to do in natural disaster. Hurricane season starts on Sunday, next week.
Yes.
Right, so this will be a good time for the NEMA to come on board to educate the participants as to what the do's and the don'ts as it relates to natural disasters. Basic first aid, we can get a cut. Anything can happen during our time at work, at school, at play. So we have the children with the basic knowledge of first aid. They will know what to do to assist themselves, the family, the brothers and the sister. Financial literacy, I'll be making a call to the National Bank once again, hoping that they'll be on board with donations, and then we will have a more impactful camp this year. So persons who have already sent out donation letters, we have received those. I want to thank those who have already donated, and those who are thinking about it. Yes, it's a worthwhile adventure, and we need you on board. And anyone could just come along and give us a call and donate anything for the advancement and the success of our camp, grooming the minds of the young children for a positive and bright future. This is the theme, and this is our motive as the St. Kitts and Nevis Fire Rescue Services, giving back to the community and the country our expertise and knowledge to make sure that all are safe.
Can you give me a timeline in terms of when it starts and when it ends?
9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Will snacks be included in that
Snacks,
as well?
yes, we have a break during the tenure. Water, snacks, fruits, everything will be on board. And just before they leave, at 12 a.m., they will get a hefty meal. 12 p.m., get a hefty meal to go home with, or they can eat there until their parents collect them. A school bus will be on the road through the entire country, and we have a minibus, country massive, will be within to pick up those persons who might not have gotten the chance to catch the bus. So transportation will be provided, and as we go more in depth, get closer to the date, we will have more information for the parents and the teachers as it relates to the success of this camp.
For that individual who's calling, you can call back. And guys, can you put on your headphones for me, please, so we can listen to this call? We should have turned the volume up on your devices, your headsets.
Oh, nice.
Good morning. You are live.
Good morning to you, sir.
Hey, good morning to you, sir.
And good morning to you, gentlemen.
Good morning.
I'm so impressed with the presentation made by both of you. And the program is a great program. My two sons would have gone through the program, and over the years you all have developed, and the job that you all are doing is really great. And I want to commend the entire fire department for coming up. And the initiative, just explained by the gentleman, make a lot of sense. Because we have to go with the changes, that's the reality of the world. But as I said, I just wanted to call in and just commend you all and wish you all the best, 2025 and beyond.
Thank you
All
very
I would
much.
say. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your support.
Thank you.
Yes, gentlemen. So we were looking at the time, encouraging parents to use the opportunity for summer activity instead of versus leaving your children at home. I know we always look for summer camps. We also look for, thank you. We also look for not just summer camps, but as Mr. Blois indicated as well, some form of babysitting in terms of where to leave your children.
Yes.
I say that very loosely, right?
Yes. It was continuously expressed by parents that this is just the form of babysitting, because schools have a long break during the summer and they don't really have the affordability of walking with them to their workplace or the time to stay at home with them. So they find camps, because camps is known to most parents as babysitting club. All right? But permit me with your
Yes, go ahead.
question.
Yes.
The process, in my presentation, I recognize I explained all the differences as to why we started to go digital, but I never explained the process of the registration process. Now, I have developed
In terms of accessing it?
accessing the whole camp itself. Now, as the developer, what I did, I created a QR code for the registration process, and I also sent them a short link where persons who don't have phones that have QR code scanners, they can actually type in the short web page link where they will now be directed to the registration process. So you will fill out the necessary information. Once you submit, you would get an email via the email that you entered with the second step instructions. The second step instruction is where you go and make your payment. Now, unfortunately, and I'm not going to say it unfortunately now, the payment is only being made at 2 stations. As we have just started, we looked at accountability and where payments would be collected. So as such, we iron it out to just 2 locations. But as we venture into a collaborative effort with Ministry of Education, there may be the possibility of expanding our payment methods and putting it back at the school itself. But that would have to be a collaborative effort itself. So that would be for next year going forward. But for this year, in the interim, all payments would be made at either Charlestown Fire Station or Bastia Fire Station. All right? Person would question as to why, but for accountability purpose, we minimize it to 2 locations only. All right? So, but the futuristic plan is to develop and to employ an online payment process itself. So not only you don't have to come in and pay physically, you can actually pay these payments online. But these are all futuristic conversations that fire department would be having to align ourselves properly and not do anything in an ad hoc fashion.
So I'm guessing you're getting pushback on the online aspect, right?
The information I received from Mr. Clark is that the online process itself is not something new, or it's not something cognizant to parents and teachers itself for whatever means. However, I do believe that we need more campaigning to the schools, campaigning to the PEO, which is the Principal Education Officer of Nevis, the CEO, which is the Chief Education Officer, to allow us to these meetings with head teachers where we can actually present our case to them and then hear from them, because they may have questions that we are not able to answer. So let's hear from them. Let's work together and get this fine-tuned, because we are educating the populace in terms of fire safety. They are educating the populace. So let us merge together and educate holistically.
Talking about merging, what about introducing a hybrid system since that you're in the developing stage versus just going all in?
Well, we are actually hybrid this year. We have not give a stronghold as to the online process itself. We are actually hybrid. Now, I like that question. Here is it that we as fire officers are here to help the public. We are here to serve. Now, if you are not knowledgeable about how to use the online process, fire officers in Tabernacle, in Sandy Point, in Bastille, wherever you see a fire officer, they should be able to assist you in registering online. So we are not saying that we are going to be a hard fast of doing online. We are saying that we want to help you to understand the online and why we are choosing online opposed to paper.
So with that said, I mean, anyone listening to this program can go to the school and still pick up forms.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Yes. Papers are at the school presently.
Both St. Kitts and Nevis.
Okay. All right, great. That's it for me, guys, and it's 10 o'clock in our studio. And in the last words...
Well, I want to thank Mr. Clark for inviting me. I want to thank the fire department for actually giving me the opportunity to develop in this digitalization process itself. It was a tiresome work, but it was something that was beneficial. It would be beneficial to the organization, and it actually aligns itself with the government's sustainable trust to becoming an e-service government itself. So I want to thank them for the opportunity that they afforded me to develop this software here itself for them. And I welcome everyone who has a question regarding it to contact any member from the fire service to assist them in the process itself. All right, that would be my final word.
All right. Mr. Clark, you have the final say.
Well, yes, you could. I think I said a mouthful. Just in case anyone need any questions, have any questions, they can always reach out to you or call me. 669-3179. So we're going to have a conversation and give more input. Mr. Blythe, you want to give it to him?
Sure, no problem.
Yes.
My number.
My
number, I'm reachable at 665-4943. I am available to answer any question that the public may have. The direct question that they're afraid to ask on here, that they would want me to answer it privately.
Nice. Thank you, Jake.
All right, man. Thanks for being here, guys. 10:01 in the studio. We're going to take a break, and I'll be back. We'll have Mendisa on the other side. Oh, and by the way, that's Mendisa from Courts.
It's a grand Easter and summer sale at Smorton Island Electronics. From now until the end of summer, we're giving you up to 25% off store-wide with special deals on AC units, fans, and refrigerators. Shop now and enjoy great deals and huge savings. We have 3 locations.